Hi, my name is Jack. I'm a senior consultant at Big Cloud, and I help our clients in the APAC region to hire data scientists, data engineers, developers, and some associated positions. In this case, I was working with one of our clients in Singapore. It's a large shipping company. We've been helping them to build a team dedicated to building a machine learning driven platform that the company can leverage. And we needed a senior UX designer, UX design lead, who could come up with the original design wireframes and start to tidy up the front end and drive usability of the platform within the company. We needed somebody with good enough design skills. The tricky thing with UX roles at this level is trying to find people that had really come up with the design structure and then driven continuity throughout the uptake of a product. You can't just look for people that work at really obvious companies, because quite often they weren't there at the beginning of something, and you can't expect everybody to have been there at the beginning of something big. Having looked through profiles for the market, there were probably 6 to 8 people that on paper and through looking through their portfolios I identified as probably matching our needs. So that not a large pool of people. And it was important that we got at least a response from them. So we sent a video message naming the company that we're working with, outlining the project properly, and really with the aim of trying to get just a response from the candidates. And we find that people that are approached through a video message, they know it's a message just to them and not to 100 people, and they tend to respond at a much higher rate than typical vague recruiter written messages that seem to be rife in our industry. And luckily, Ching Boon did respond, and then we were able to talk through why Ching Boon was open to new opportunities, and why that might marry well with what our client were looking to hire. Hi, Ching Boon. My name's Jack. I'm from a company called Big Cloud. I help businesses in Singapore to hire data scientists, engineers, developers. I came across your profile today in relation to a search that I'm doing for one of my clients, Oldendorf. Oldendorf are a very old shipping company. And in Singapore, we're helping them to build an AI lab dedicated to building machine learning driven solutions to be used across the whole business. So, for instance, these are like advanced mapping solutions where if you click on a certain ship, it'll tell you real time data about the weather in that area, the predicted route that the ship is taking, and how long it'll take to get there, the amount of fuel that it'll use. But also, it interweaves loads of other machine learning applications, like where would be the best place to purchase its fuel from, given its route, and things like this. Given what you've done at Dentsu Aegis and your history within UX and UI, I was wondering if you'd like to talk with me about a senior UX position within this company and this team in Singapore. If you'd like to take a look at the job description and go through it in more detail with me, please just let me know and we can set up a quick time to have a talk. Thanks, bye for now. So Ching Boon responded positively to that message, saying that he'd be open to have a talk with me. And at that stage, it's always key to understand why somebody would be open to talking, what they're looking for, what your client are looking for, and whether those two things pair up in the middle. First of all, Ching Boon's background was perfect for what my client were looking for. He'd worked at Property Guru toward the beginning of their initial development, and they've become a successful company. So we'd found somebody that worked at a startup with a product that was special to them. His current employer was starting to run dry on new projects, so it was naturally time for him to start to look for a change. Fortunately, he wanted to go back in-house. And again, fortunately, he was quite keen to continue working on complex products that were driven by data science concepts. So what my client wanted and what Chingbun wanted on this occasion paired up very, very closely. And again, fortunately, the budgets were correct. The timing seemed to be correct. We just now had to manage a much different recruitment process, I suppose, by using video. But other than that, it was able to go very smoothly. And the result, we'll show you now the catch up with Chingbun afterwards to get his thoughts on how this went, his feelings as a candidate. And I think it gives good insight into how somebody feels, not only about the job market right now, the economy right now, but how they feel about a remote interview process, and also their trepidations with how things will go next, how they'll be onboarded, their first few months, and the expectation around how they develop within their role. I think Chingbun's insights here are good for people to learn from. Hi, Chingbun.
Hey, how's things?
Yeah, very good. You see, I'm at
Okay,
home.
right. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So, Chingbun, the purpose of this meeting is to just kind of out of a debrief about how you found a much different process than what we normally use. Actually, it's a process we have used before, but it's one that we're now having to use all the time because of the pandemic.
Right.
First of all, I approached you with a creepy video rather than a written message. How did you find that?
Well, I found it very refreshing and unique. Unlike most job recommendation that I receive, is either via email or phone call. So the video is actually a very unique idea. So that's why I responded. Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you ever, when you get a written one, I get written
Mhm.
ones too. People think I'm a data scientist sometimes. Um, when you get written ones, do you wonder
Right.
if they're written just to you or whether they're to 200 people?
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Um, with video, I found it a bit. I found the video more personalized as compared to a written email. Um, yeah, you're right because after receiving so many emails, right, the format is more or less the same. Then after a while, I don't. I just glance through and then try to pick out the keywords. And if I don't find the keywords that I want, I'll just ignore the email. Yeah.
Yeah, when we write them as recruiters, sometimes we try and put in a lot of points of personalization, and we press
Yeah.
send, and we think there's a 1 in 10 chance this is getting read. And I just spent
Yeah.
time
That's
writing
true.
it. It's a 1 in 10
Yeah.
chance. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this you can't ever deny whether a video is to the person or not, because unless I'm sending it to 8 Chingboons with the same experience, then
Hopefully there's no itching wounds out there. Yeah.
no, I'm only
Yeah.
kidding. I
I do
only
get
sent
that
it to
feeling.
3 Chingboons.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you've gone through a pretty remote process. Did you meet with Oldendorf at all face to face? Did you do the first round face to face in the coffee shop?
um um the first round was done via a phone call.
Okay,
It was with a UI manager. Then subsequently, I get to meet up with the guys in Udendorf. It's over coffee. That there was a face to face. Yeah.
okay. So you guys met in the coffee shop
Yes.
for your presentation round. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very difficult to do a presentation fully remotely. Since the measures have got even stricter, we probably would have had to have done that round remotely this time if it was a week later. But it was
Yes.
still okay to meet in coffee shops at the time, wasn't it? Um,
Yes.
okay, so you did half of the interviews basically remotely, and half the other bit we did was as a face to face.
Face to face, yeah, sure.
You got an offer a few weeks into the process, and now you're going to join them. How are you feeling
Mhm.
at the moment?
Um, Mixed feelings. Of course, I am thrilled, excited, um, because the entire process was very very smooth and pleasant. Um, and then I do get to meet the guys, and I think they are very knowledgeable. So um, there's so much I can learn from them. So definitely, I'm excited to join a company. But then, given the current situation, everything is just so crazy. Um, I wonder how this is going to work out. Onboarding remotely. Starting my first day remotely. So yeah, mixed feelings. A lot of um, I don't know what lies ahead. Never done this before. Um, but overall, I'm still very happy with how the job interview went, and um, getting to join the company. So yeah, I'm happy. Yeah.
How are you feeling now compared to the beginning? Because at the beginning of all of
Uh,
this, you were still going through the beginnings of a pandemic and looking for a job. How are you feeling before?
I am before this job interview. I was a bit apprehensive. That's for sure. Um, because there were a lot of rumors, that the job market is going to be badly hit, and yeah, also how the interview is going to be conducted, because especially there was strict measure not to do face-to-face interview. But now I'm more relaxed. Definitely, after receiving the job offer, I'm more relaxed. I'm happy. Yeah, pretty much sum up my feelings now. Yeah,
Yeah, I speak to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people worried at the moment, especially that they can't get a new job or they can't change their current one.
yes,
They can't advance. People worried about an impending economic downturn, which there probably will be.
yes,
Um, but my attitude is always that there are a bunch of things in place already that can help us to adapt.
yeah,
It's not gonna it's not going to stop an economic downturn. It's not going to stop people from worrying.
yeah,
There's plenty of ways that we can still do interviews and
yeah,
start work even during a pandemic and whatever ensues after this.
yeah. That's true.
um,
That's true.
Chingbin, we wish you all the best. I think you've got now 2 weeks to get yourself ready before you start. So I'm going to catch up with you again close to the time, but it'd probably be more useful if you and I speak after the first week or so, because I'd be really curious to see how a remote onboarding has gone. Um, but my advice is to always remember that remote work happened before too, so I really wouldn't worry too much
Yeah,
with the technology and the type of position that you have. You don't need to be sat with other people all the time. Um, be happy for this time at home, because the first few weeks we all get back into the office, we're going to be complaining about our commutes and and other people
exactly,
eating our food.
exactly. Yeah, it's good and bad. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what to say. Yeah, I guess I just enjoy this whole entire process while it lasts. Don't have to like what you say, squeeze and into the transport. And yeah, save the time traveling. Yeah, good and bad.
All right, Chingbun. Well, thanks a lot for going through this with us, um, and I'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks.
Sure. Thanks so much, Jay.
After all of this, we're able to assess how things have gone and to take learning lessons from ourselves and continually implement these into future projects. Big Cloud are all about innovation within recruitment and trying to adapt to the ever-changing way in which people expect to be contacted, spoken to, treated, recruited, and how clients are doing those things also. We've been using video technology for quite a long time now. We've found in the past that the most useful element of it was probably engaging candidates. They get a lot of messages, especially in our space within the world of AI, machine learning. There's a lot of companies that are looking for exactly the same people, regardless of the sector that they've worked in, really. So we needed to find a way of cutting through that and proving to candidates that we were approaching just them for just specific positions, and showing our clients the same thing too. Video technology has also been used to set up interviews with people across different borders, or to make things quicker, or to share interview footage with multiple managers rather than having to organize them all into the same room. One of the tricks to recruiting in our sphere is speed. There's a lot of competition, therefore you need to be quicker, and using video technology helps. Now, of course, with the pandemic, we've been forced to use video technology, and so have clients, but nobody likes to be forced. You don't want your digital transformation to be pushed by a pandemic. You want it to be on your own terms, but still we have to adapt. And I think that it helps that we have the experience of using this technology already. But even now, we've had to find different ways of utilizing it, of helping people. And the important thing is that we continue to find ways of hiring. We can't just let everything grind to a halt. Of course, at some point, things will have to continue, and companies will have to keep doing what they do, creating the products that they create, services that they have, and serving the clients that they have. And candidates, people still need jobs. People still want to change jobs. People still want to advance in their careers. A lot of people out there are very worried at the moment that they can't do those things, but it's true that people should be a little bit worried, but there are ways around these things. There are ways to make it possible, and there are ways to make it easier. And we feel that video is just one method, but there are many ways to keep the wheels turning at the moment. So I hope this helps, and good luck, Chingbun.